Welcome back again to Crafting with Rocks. This is Aholibamah, and I thought I would bring you back to show you what I've collected here. So in one of these chests, if I can remember which one, we have the spoils of war, and there's also several stacks of iron that I took over there already. So there's about 6 more stacks of iron than this. So most of this was stuff that I, gathered while I was building it, digging it. And then these slime balls were while I was digging and building it. So that's what I've gathered so far as slime is concerned. And some of the iron, and then again, there's about 6 more stacks in a different chest. So that's what I've got so far. So now I'm going to set up the delivery method to bring it up to the surface over about over there. It'll come up to the surface, and then we'll put it into a storage system over on that side. So I'm going to go down there and start working on it, and I'll show you when I've got something to see. So here goes the fun part. Hopefully I can get all the way to the bottom and back up without dying. Okay. Can I plant this? Oh, good. I think we might make it. It's looking good. Come on. That didn't sound good. Hey. Leave that alone. Jerk. Now to get my other ones and finish this. Okay, there we go. Now it's done. Whew. Now to go back down and place this. And hopefully I've made the circuit correctly at the bottom so that it'll spit out anything else it gathers beyond what it's got there. Seems to be working. Yep, it spat them all right back out at me. And then there's the zombie talking. So now I just need to make the water flow from here into a hopper that'll put it in a storage. Looks like I'm taking down this house. Maybe that zombie was trying to help me. There, we don't need the door or the bed in there. Okay, so I will take down this house and get some of the chests and such that I'm going to need to build this, and then we'll come back. Maybe I'll put a lid on it so they don't bounce quite so high. That'll be kind of fun if they do, though. So I will be back. Go with the last step of building this item filter system. So we're going to put this in and see how it does. Oh, they all washed into my inventory. Let me get out of the way. Well, I guess that one's iron, slime, poppies, everything else. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often. I don't know whether or not I need a lid on this yet, but I can live with a little bit of loss. I mean, it's not the most efficient thing in the first place. Let's go ahead and put the top on. That way it can just move over. And we'll get that while we're at it. Quit coming in my inventory. All right. stop using glass for scaffolding. We'll use sand. That's a good one. Okay, now let's toss back in these, and those, and those. Oh, great. Tossing back in doesn't work. We might need to make it higher and put it on soul sand or something. I don't know. It seems to work for the things that come up. That time it worked. So let's see here. Nothing coming through yet? It should be. At about 41, it should be coming through. What am I doing wrong? Apparently I've done something wrong with the wiring. That should be powering that. Why is it not powering that? What did I do wrong? Hello? I will work on this and I'll let you know when I figure it out. And it was the glass. It wouldn't travel downwards off of the glass. I guess I misunderstood then. So now it travels downward off of it, and when it powers that, then it powers the repeater underneath, turning off the torch, which unlocks this hopper. And now we're getting plenty in here. Well, we don't have enough poppies yet, but I'm about to go down and toss a bunch more in. So, wish me luck. It's like the circuitry down here is working just fine. It's got a lot of clicking, but it's making the stuff go up, and that's what's important here. So, everything seems to be working. Between them dying and this going up, I'm perfectly happy with it. So with that, we can move on to the next step. So here we go. We've got it all set up, finalized. I put a box over the redstone so that it's not as visible. There is still some visible because it's half made of glass and hoppers. But here we have our iron that's come in since I started building this. Here we have our slime. Here we have our poppies, which it needs one more before it starts sending them through. And here we have the other junk that I managed to collect while I was building it because it turned to night a couple times, so I fought off the guys that were nearby. And with that, this is, well, I think I'll put in one more chest along the front here so that it has extra supply. And then the next project is going to be a kelp farm, I think. So I will bring you in once I got the supplies for that. Here's the idea. The idea is the poppies come through that chest into the hopper. The hopper spits them out into the composter. The hopper underneath pulls them through into this dropper, which now has 3. Or not dropper, dispenser. Thank goodness it's a dispenser, because the dropper wouldn't work. Then I need to set up a mechanism over here to say, okay, there's something in there, so spit it out and then do this a little bit after that. Do the piston a little bit after. So give me some time to think about how I'm going to run this wiring, and I will come back. Okay, so here is the description. There's a hopper feeding into that dispenser, right? So when the dispenser gets something in it, it triggers the comparator that's right next to it. Comparator powers that block, which this repeater powers this line that comes all the way around to power the dispenser to spit out the bone meal. Okay, when it spits out the bone meal, it triggers this observer, which powers that block. Once that block is powered, it powers this repeater, which powers this line that triggers the piston after a delay. So, that wasn't enough. We need flowers. Flowers are faster. Let me see if I can find some flowers really quick. I think I saw some over here. If I can get past the ravine. Okay, flowers. That should be enough. So, hopefully this works. If it does, then we'll have a nice little setup. So we'll toss those in. There we go. Looks like it only gives us about one each time, but one each time is more than none. So I count it as a win. So with that, I will close this up and make it pretty like. There we have it, the final farm. It's maybe a little bit slow, but it'll give us some kelp every now and then. It might grow on its own even from time to time without the bone meal dispensing on it. So in that case, it'll give us more than one. So that'll be nice. Now I just need to put in a hopper right here. So let's go ahead and make that happen. We'll set up the chest first. And a hopper. And we'll put in the one that I caught. And hopefully we'll get to see it again soon. I suppose we could put some kelp in to make it go. No? That wasn't enough. Still no. Wow, takes a lot of kelp. Here comes a poppy or two. Maybe those will do it. No? No, that wasn't enough either. 3 more. No. Oi. Well, like I said, it's going to be a slow one, but... Oh, and then I caught it. That doesn't do us much good. Well, hopefully this catches some. And with that, I need to get back to bed. I went and harvested my garden, so I got some seeds. So hopefully we can do a better test now. So I will toss in the seeds and we'll stand over here and see what happens. There's one. There goes the kelp. There goes another kelp. Come on, work. And another kelp. That many seeds does help. And it goes in. Let's see if the next one goes in. If all of these go in, then that's a good test. That one went in. Oh, I like to experiment here with you guys. With any luck, we'll get enough kelp out of this farm to start making fuel out of it. But I doubt it'll be a large amount. It'll probably just be a little bit here and there. We might have to make a natural growing kelp farm in order to get anything fast out of it. Unless I bring all my seeds over here every time, which just sounds like a pain. I don't harvest my garden that much anymore anyway. Pretty soon I might have to have a villager take care of it for me so that it doesn't feel so neglected. But meanwhile, we've had 9 of them, and 10 of them flow in all on their own. So it looks like it's a success. We've had none of them fall outside and all of them gone in. So I call that a win. Looks like we've got ourselves an automatic kelp farm made out of the poppies from our iron farm. So our iron farm produces slime, iron, and kelp. So if we need poppies, by all means, our little flower farm we made the other day gives us plenty of those. So we don't have to worry about running out of that. If we ever need to dye things, we've got plenty of dye. So that's great progress. Made a little adjustment here, and that is this hopper will automatically go into there unless that hopper is full. And I figure I only need 1 chest of the unsmelted kelp, and then I'll have plenty. So after that hopper's full, it'll run over here into the smoker, and the smoker will then put it into the chest down here through that hopper. So now what I'm going to need to do is to put a hopper in the side here and run that into a bamboo farm over this way so that I can have fuel for this furnace, because it's only going to come through 1 or 2 at a time, so I don't want to put in coal and waste all the coal just to get 1 piece of kelp smelted. So a little bamboo farm will do us some good, and we'll run it basically the same way. We'll fill up a chest, and anything over that can go into this. So that'll be good for next. Chopping, 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 chopping. Chopping, 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 chopping. Chopping, 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 chopping. Collecting, 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 collecting. Gather, 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 gather. Gather, gather, gather. Okay. Replant where I messed up. Chopping, 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 chopping. Chopping, 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 chopping. Hacking, hacking, slashing, hacking, slashing. Okay. Now gather, 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 gather. And how do I get out of here? Okay. Oh, hi. Now then. Chase this cat away from my kitty. Go on, you stray. And we'll go plant some of this. Man, that guy in the cart is noisy. So, here we go. This looks like a good area. Keep it nice and close. Of course, I'm going to have to put in a minecart collection, so I don't know if I should do that first. Maybe I'll run that first. So this is the first test of the cart going underneath, making sure everything works correctly, and it looks like it does. So here it comes back. It looks like it's still got enough momentum even with all those non-powered rails on the end. And it looks like it's good. Okay, so here we have it, the finished product. I've got the bamboo set up and I'm about ready to put in this observer, which should start this thing going across. Then I need to go get one on the other side for it to come back. So here we go. Ready, 2, 3. Or not. Okay, that looks good so far. Of course, it sends some flying, so I might have to put up some walls. And here we go again. 2, 3. Okay, it didn't work there, but let's see if it works there. Is it going to send it back? Well, that's kind of funny. I will take a look at this and see what I can figure out. Oh, it's sticking to it. No, shouldn't be. Well, that certainly broke it. Okay, well, the whole thing was just repeater timing, so I adjusted those, and now everything seems to be working fine. Well, other than it definitely needs walls in so that it doesn't fling the sugar cane out. So I'm going to see what I can do about that, and maybe I'll show you again before we stop and wrap it up for the day. We've made a kelp farm, a cooked kelp farm, and a bamboo farm to power it all. So this has been a pretty successful episode. We'll come back again next time, and remember to rock on.